stay with me here. Video games and forest fires. Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we are going to focus on a really cool initiative in Riders Republic that no one else is talking about yet. Stick around for episode 32 of the Riders Report coming up, well, right now. Before we get started, a special thank goes out to our YouTube members who made this week's episode possible. Thank you to executive producers Bone Crusher 2D and Coach 34.
And Everyone Loves Gahan.
Along with co-producers Mitch's Mom and Steep. And not to forget our fans and Fans Plus. You can hit join down below or just hang around for the end of this video to learn about our exclusive content and channel perks.
There is something new coming to Riders Republic this week. Actually, today, the same day this episode comes out on June 15th, there is a brand new mass race coming to Riders Republic. Woo! So it's time to boot up to those queues again and see what it is. We don't know yet. I'm excited to see what they're bringing for mass races. And of course, they will be testing some new mass race styles later on in July. Also in July will be the release of the summer break season. Excited to see what new sports those will bring. We did our own hypothesizing or speculating on what sports those could be if you want to check out that older episode. And finally, on Twitter in the past week, Riders Republic sent out something a bit mysterious and new. They have an event coming up in the future in the game that they said they do not want to announce to players proactively. But guess what? That's what we're here to do today. We're going to read through the press release and let you know all about it.
All right, so yeah, I mean, they told us that we didn't want to announce this proactively, but we're not really announcing it so much as we're reading information that was given to us publicly, right? Like, we're not breaking any NDAs. We're not doing anything out of the ordinary here. This is available for reading, so we're going to discuss it.
Yeah, all right. And I think part of the part where it says the event won't be announced to players proactively, I don't think they mean necessarily this announcement that they're doing it. I think the dates that they're going to do it. I think it's just going to hit.
I see. Okay,
so yeah. And at the very bottom, it says activation date, which is, I'm assuming when, end of year 22 to start of 23. So I think it's going to happen sometime like December, January, February, but they're not going to say tomorrow log into the game. I think they want people to log in and kind of have that shock of what's going on.
Right. Yeah. So before we dive into this, obviously you can click down below and read along with us here, but I want to throw it back to Steep and what the game of Steep meant, not only to the riders, but to the developers. Mitch and I, back in 2017, had the opportunity to travel to France and meet with the developers of Steep, where they explained to us kind of their passion behind the game. And this is nothing that has been, locked behind closed doors. They have been very open about this, but getting it firsthand from the devs is a little different than watching a YouTube video. So it stuck a little more when they told us. If you don't know already, this studio that has created Steep and now Riders Republic is located in Annecy, France, which is in the French Alps. It is in the Savoie mountain region. It's the French Alps. It's gorgeous. They have a huge lake, beautiful mountains that overlook out of any window in the dev studio. You can see the mountains of the Savoie region. It is truly gorgeous, and it's breathtaking, and it is such an inspiration. You can tell just from looking at the region where the game came from, why it means so much to these folks. Not just to be an extreme sports company, not just an extreme sports video game title, but paying homage to the mountains and the nature and the landscape of these mountains. In Steep, we had mountain stories, and in Riders, we don't get mountain stories per se, but we do get the landmarks and we get the scenic tours where they explain the history of these features and why these parks are so important. Obviously, Riders Republic is based on all of the natural parks, the national parks around the United States. So just a lot of conservation efforts, a lot of nature, enjoying nature and enjoying what the earth has given us. That being said, this is not just sticking in the video game. They are going to be working some conservation and some just shock factors, basically, and some warnings, some natural warnings into the video game Riders Republic. And I'm really here for this. This is a great way to raise awareness for a very serious thing that goes on, not just in the US, but around the world.
Yeah, and this is going to be part of Green Game Jam 2022, which is run by Playing for the Planet, which is an alliance that is facilitated by the UN Environment Program. So they've done this, I think, 2 times now. They did it last year. Ubisoft took place with Anno, one of their video games. Mm-hmm. And this release essentially says that they're going to have an in-game event that's going to be based around the wildfires that happen over on the West Coast here in the US. Mm-hmm. So based California and the Sequoias, which, of course, one of the natural parks that has had plenty of forest fires. There'll be things for the players to do in the game based around that. And then they're also going to use some of that to help with planting trees in real life.
Yeah. So starting with the game, and I think we'll end with the conservation and the payback to the earth here. Very interesting way that they're going to go about this. They're going to hit every single player of Riders Republic at some point in the near future with massive shock factor. I really think this is going to get the point across immediately. Well, absolutely, it's going to be immediate. The sky will be orange. When you boot the game, when you decide to load up Riders Republic, the sky will immediately be orange. And there's going to be fire smoke, like a fog, just a thin layer of fog throughout the entire game. It's going to be because of wildfires. There are wildfires going on in Sequoia in the game. I don't know if Sequoia will actually be on fire or not. Don't quote me there. But all of the players in the game will also be equipped with a gas mask by default when they boot the game. So not only are you getting that ominous orange sky that I'm sure a lot of us saw on Reddit last summer when the fires ripped through the western states, but all players will also be equipped with a gas mask by default. Whether or not that will be a collectible item for you to keep, we don't know yet, but it would be kind of cool to put the Playing for the Planet logo on the side of a gas mask there to keep as just a little, I witnessed this event. And 3, part of the map will not be accessible to the players as it will be unbreathable due to the wildfires close by. So yeah, I mean, just those are the first 3 right there, hitting it hard out of the bat, making a point. No, you can't play the game in these parts because you're out in nature. And guess what? Sometimes nature it is lit on, this stuff happens. Not only damaging tons of resources, but, the wildlife and the environment around. So yeah, just crazy to start. I can picture it in my head, and the image is already starting to, no pun intended, sear into my brain.
Yeah, and they have some sample images in the release too. A little further down, there's one where you can see like a very dark orange red tint and almost everything blacked out in Riders Ridge. Mm-hmm. And then there's one that's just like the biker with the purple background. They said there's going to be a complete like reskin of the social hub in game 2, and the whole game will be on alert. So I imagine there's going to be some fire sirens, other things going on. Yeah. If you remember that downhill race,
yes,
probably one of the most shocking races, the road race where you're going down and there's like cars overturned and all sorts of emergency vehicles and sirens going on and it's raining. I think it's going to be somewhat like that, but this is also going to have like a live event where you have to cooperate with each other too, which is really cool because they're using some of the modes in the game. They say that first players will have to identify the most fragile and flammable areas of Sequoia National Park. One example, it says, would be by using the photo mode, which will have real life data automatically integrated into players' photos in the area, including the size of past wildfires, projection on future ones, fragility level, etc. That's really cool if that's something, because they did 1-to-1 map out a lot of these areas of the game. So it sounds like you'll be able to take a picture of an area on the game map in Sequoia, and then it will kind of have a filter that shows this is how many fires this area has had. This is why like this area is at risk for more fires because maybe the trees are clumped too close or the slope of the mountain. So it'll be cool to see that.
Yeah. No, 100%. I really like that they're going to be integrating real life data. So this is going to be, it's going to be a full on event, but it's going to take if you want to partake and you want to experience all of this, it's not just go to this point. Finally, what have we been talking about for the last couple of weeks that even Shack Daddy Bandit challenges? It's just go do this thing, perform this thing on any kind of race. Just do 3 mass races. We're going to give you some points. No. This event is completely different. You're going to actually have to go and navigate to see and experience everything that it's giving you. You're also going to have another part of this interactive segment here. You're going to have to reduce the risk of fire spreading in Sequoia National Park with a collaborative activity. And for example, they tell us you may have to clean the forest path, the scrub, the cutoffs, or just protect trees with aluminum foil on trunks. So there will be ways for you to, not just see and learn. You're not just going to have to go into phono mode and learn about, the scale of these fires and what they're doing, but you're going to be able to go in and actually help prevent the fire from spreading. Again, just an awesome thing.
Yeah. And I think some of that, I don't know if this is something I read somewhere else or just pictured in my head, but a lot of fighting some of these forest fires is clearing a lot of that underbrush, like they said, even digging fire trenches. So you basically just dig a trench through the forest so that when the fire is spreading across the ground, it can't jump that line. So they could almost have things where you like ride down the mountain on your bike and that kind of sets the line. Yeah. Like that would be kind of cool. Like you set the line for where the firefighters are going to dig the trench. So you ride really a path down and then that becomes like a barrier. So you're almost racing down the mountain with a bunch of other riders to set up the fire trenches or the burn zones.
And I wonder, I again, last year on Reddit, you see it just pretty much every time we have a forest fire in the world, you'll see a farmer trying to save their crops. Mm-hmm. And what do? They're notorious for putting their lawnmower on, going through their field and driving right next to the edge of the fire to cut their brush down so that it's not providing fuel to the fire, kind of building a barrier. So something like that, where it's a mass race of, hey, we need to do a mass race around the edge of the fire or of the embers to try and cut it off. And then, after 64 people went over it at once, we have successfully cleared enough. I don't see this being, yes, it visually is going to be breathtaking in the game. It's really going to prove the point. It's going to send the message that it was meant to send. But I'm really interested to see how well this integration, how well the community effort is implemented into the game. How is it going to feel? Is it going to be, press X and your player's going to do this big group activity where it's not you just see a cut screen? Or are you actually physically going to have aluminum foil in your hand and you're going to be able to go from tree to tree to wrap around? It was also interesting, and one of the first images that they've included on this website is the POW, the photo wall or photo op that they have in Sequoia. And there already is a part of Sequoia that is burnt. It's already been in the game. It's been in the game since beta, that there are parts of the national parks that are, they need to burn to then grow again. The project name here is Phoenix. The Playing for the Planet's code name is Phoenix for this whole endeavor. But I'm going to be interested to see if they pick that part of the park, if there are going to be more burnt areas of the park that are going to stay and last for a little while. What does the rebirth process look like? Are we going to get new trees? Or are we going to get new animals? How is all of this going to play out? Or is it just going to be a weekend where it's, boop, it's here and now it's gone again? I really feel like this is a great opportunity to have a part of the park heal throughout an entire year or an entire season, where you're slowly getting back and you're able to watch the trees come back to life and the flowers in the ground and all of that. There's a lot that we can speculate here. But yeah, we just wanted to make a real quick main topic today. Well, quick-ish, to discuss something really cool that the Redditors found. Thank you. I don't have the exact name of the person who made the post, but thank you to everyone over there who caught this and posted it for the rest of us to see. Again, if you'd like to follow along, playingfortheplanet.org. The link is down below for the Riders Republic specific effort. Is this conservation or just awareness? This is just awareness.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay. Well, if it's not conservation, or if it's not one of those two, we're just going to put it out there right now. Hey, if you smoke, hey, if you like bonfires, put that stuff out before you leave anywhere in the wild. All right. It's a very Boy Scout thing to say, but leave no trace is not just to clean up your litter and your gum wrappers. Leave no trace saves lives. It saves homes of animals. It saves all of that. Can't tell you how many times, Australia has burned, crops out in the Midwest in the breadbasket have burned because some dumbo left his cigarette, and threw it into the brush. Or they had a bonfire, they had some drinks, and they just let it go. And they have decimated states worth of land and displaced people, animals, everything. So don't be that person. If you're riding in this game, if you ride out, in nature by yourself in real life or not, be aware of it. If you're enjoying this game, it's because nature gave us these awesome, awesome scenes for us to see. We needed to make sports and different equipment to get to those places to enjoy those parts of the earth that are otherwise unreachable. So to keep those alive, to keep the mountains, to keep the forests alive, do your part. That's it. If all of this didn't tell you that, and if the game is not going to tell you that later, I'm saying it right now in plain English. Just do your part. Take care of this earth. I'm going to get off my hippie podium, and I think we're going to go to the Riders Report. Starting out in pole position, we have a newcomer, right? I don't think I've ever seen this name. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gunny Guns with a C and anemone. This is Enemy, a Riders Republic montage.
Yes, this is his first montage. Down in the description it says, "Don't judge, took him a lot of time." It's a great first entry, and based on some of the comments, we have some of the big hitters here. We had Duckfacer, Legion, Ian Hawk, Call Me Jay, Abouts 4K. Is this guy in Toon Squad? I don't know if he's in Toon Squad, but based on those names, I'm feeling like he might be in Toon Squad.
Is he farming views and likes with his Toon Squad over there? Hey, Toon Squad on top. They are, if Gunny is one of the members, Toon Squad is on top of today's Riders Roundup. But it's a quick little almost 4-minute edit here. And boy, for your first video with all of the post-production and all of the edits that went into this, I mean, there's nowhere to go but up. Mm-hmm. This is phenomenal, and what a platform to start on. That's what I'm saying. You can only go up, but from where you're starting, holy crap, you can fly. What I'm trying to get after here.
We've seen a few people come up in Riders Republic, post their first montages, and I remember watching their 10th and 11th. And the next video, I don't know if we saw his first ones in Steep. We saw some of his early work, and now we're seeing his later work. This is Flair taking another stab at Shredder's posting an edit, and this one a little bit slower of a vibe, but he is able to just tell a story with the camera work and the action going on screen, and some of the subtle.
I love it. Roll with it.
The subtle edits that he's got in this game.
It's just so subtle.
Someday.
Yeah, no, I hear that. You're not only getting shredits in here from Flair, you're also getting some animation. Mm-hmm. Mitch, I don't know if you've scrolled through, but 47 seconds in the video here. 27 seconds, you have just the slowest, smoothest tail tap on this huge arch, right as Metallica, the orchestra is crescendoing there. But just before 50 seconds, Flair's working in some animation there. Really, wow. It has been such a treat to watch Flair grow as an editor, as a director, and as a writer. So that's just wonderful. Go check that one out. An absolutely criminal amount of subscribers over on YouTube as well for the work that he puts out. It's only 60. Mm-hmm. Guys, let's double that by next week. Let's double that by the next Shredder's edit that he puts out. Thank you, Flair, for submitting that. And last but not least, we got another one from Kuno.
Yeah. This one, again, he uses that photo mode so well in these videos. He also has a little bit, not animation, but little effects going on around his character while he's doing that. And then he just pulls off some of the sickest stunts. might have been one of the first to, if I remember right, from Reddit to make these clips where he changes sports but cuts out the sport wheel. And it just looks so clean whenever you do that. You got so many options in this game where you can switch sports and just string together such a cool line like Combo Mambo, which will be coming up by the end of June.
I don't know. Why'd you bring it up?
I've worked on the videos. They're looking cool, looking really good.
Man, I cannot wait. Yeah, and I just love, again, Kuno every week proving my main point wrong, that Riders needs a director's mode. I still think they do. It would make everything a lot easier and better content. But my goodness, what Kuno and the rest of this community can do with the bare bones they have is just it's incredible. And it's very inspiring. Yeah, I cannot wait for Combo Mambo. I can't wait for TFG to pick back up. Like Mitch and I said, we're broken records. Life is life right now, but that is no excuse. You will have Tartiflette Games Combo Mambo before July 1st. You heard it here in the last episode. And
a
I
couple more before that.
And
it's going to come.
More, yeah.
If not, it's going to be on June 31st if it has to be.
It's going to be June 31st at 11:59:59. It will be out before July.
I hope you caught on that June 31st doesn't exist, but that's like the last possible moment.
We're going to end it right here. Thank you so much for joining us for the 32nd of our first 100 guaranteed episodes of the Riders Report.
Maybe you didn't catch it.
I'm done.
That's fine. It was a joke. Yeah. So, wow.
You got it.
You lost me now. If you want your stuff in the Riders Roundup, you can post it in the self-promo over on our Discord server. But that is the end of the episode. A very special thanks goes out to our YouTube members, our executive producers, Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, Everyone Loves Gahan.
They do.
Our co-producers, Mitch's mom, and Steep.
Did you see the rubber ducks on the shirt today? We got the rubber duckies on the shirt. Duckies. That's not our thing. It's his thing. Sorry.
I'm going to go Marvel back to Ducky shirt.
It is a Marvel Ducky shirt. Shout out to Among Loyals. Follow him over on Instagram at Among Loyals. It is a Neff Marvel Duck shirt. Couldn't tell you. It's awesome. He was throwing it out and I said, no, you're not.
And also a special thanks to our fans and Fans Plus. If you'd like to become a member, you can hit join down below. Help support us, push out these weekly videos and our TFG ones. You'll get early access to the show, sneak peeks at TFG, emojis, badges, a members only video per month, sneak peeks and more. Or you can just subscribe to catch our content every week.
Yes, please do. I don't feel like I deserve the outro this week.
Oh boy, I don't even know if I...
No. Yeah, we're going to hit it. We will see everyone here, same place, same time next week for episode 33 of the Riders Report. Thank you so much, as always, for watching the entire way through. We'll catch you next week. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes.